Hey everybody, I'm enjoying the sunset in Western Republic of Georgia, San Magrelo, and I wanted to make a video on the concept of purpose. And we talked about this a little bit in my last video, but I want to kind of give a summary and kind of tighten up the definition a little bit and compare that with our conventional understanding. So typically when we think of a purpose or having purpose in life, we think of ultimate meaning or an ultimate direction that we're going or that we're working towards. And I think that fits in with a more symbolic understanding of purpose. So I want to unpack the symbolic understanding of purpose because I think it opens up new horizons, no pun intended, with the beautiful horizon behind me. And I think it'll help us understand how life works a little better, as well as more broadly the world itself. So when I think of purpose on a symbolic level, I separate it from the thing that we give purpose. So let's call that the theme or the content of purpose. And then separate from that, we have purpose. And purpose is more of an abstract principle that acts as kind of a catalyst or a predicate to make the theme that it is attached to realized, or to make it unfold in the real world and manifest as an actual thing in the world. So a good example would be a meal. Okay, we have this concept of a meal, something comes to mind, doesn't matter what meal of the day, doesn't matter what culture you're in or what home you're in. A meal is a concept with inherent potential. We understand it has a structure to it, it has a form, we know what it kind of looks like, right? But until we actually do something, it's just a concept. It's just content, right? It's abstract, it's not realized. When we combine that meal concept with the principal purpose, now it begins to manifest. Now action begins to take place. How do we combine meal and purpose? It's through human will. It's through agency. So the key to combining purpose and content is will, human will. Okay, I want to add another layer to this because there's a concept of telos that I think is relevant. And telos is basically the innate potential within a given thing to become realized and manifest in the world. So the telos of the meal is just what we talked about with this whole concept of what the meal looks like, how it unfolds, how it happens. But until telos is combined with purpose and something that makes it begin to unfold, like a seed, until the seed is planted and it can take root and begin to germinate and become a tree, it's only going to remain potential. It's only going to remain in seed form. So that's where we have this understanding and this separation between the theme or the seed, let's just call it the seed, and purpose. Okay, so the telos of the meal. How do we get the meal into reality to become something that we actually sit down to and consume and then clean up after and all that? Okay, we decide, we make a decision, and to do that, we have to focus on it, right? The theme of the meal becomes our focus of attention. So I'm not going to unpack all of these in this video because I want to keep it relatively short. But you can already see that there are so many things weaving together here that kind of makes sense when you frame it symbolically. So we have our meal, we have this focus of attention, and now we have the activities and the resources or the things that we have to bring together in order to make this meal unfold and become reality. Okay, we already know what a meal looks like. Maybe we start with buying the groceries, and then we get the pots and pans out, and then we cut the vegetables, and we start the stove, all this, until you serve it on a plate and you eat it. In that concept of the meal are a bunch of sub-concepts that go into the larger concept of the meal. One of those concepts might be, okay, the dishes. I got to get the right dishes together. Another one might be the food. I got to get the right food together, but I also have to prepare it correctly. I have to cut it in the right way. I have to combine it in the way that the recipe requires or whatever. each of those is also a theme with a purpose. So I have my focus of attention. I have dishes under this broader concept of the meal. Okay, that's my focus of attention. I get the right dishes out, right? That sub-concept has a telos, and it also requires purpose to unfold. So I get the dishes, I pull them out of the cupboards, I put them in order properly and the places where I need them. Okay, that's done. That might take stages, but it's a separate thing from, let's say, the actual vegetables themselves. Okay, the vegetables, I get these out. This is a concept, it's a focus of attention that is unfolding through purpose. And now I cut them, I prepare them. Okay, that's done. Next step, next step, next step. Under this whole umbrella of the purpose of the meal are a bunch of sub-purposes that also come together to make up the larger purpose. Eventually, we get the meal, we enjoy it, and we have realized the potential of this concept. We have realized the telos of this concept of the meal, combining it with purpose, and now it has become a reality. It's become something in the world that we have done through our agency, or maybe with the help of other people, right? They're also involved in this, and they're participating in the same purpose. With that one example, we can see that there's a larger purpose, and there are sub-purposes within that purpose to make it reality. I would argue, and I think you could easily defend this, that this is just a microcosm of how the entire universe and how all of life works. It's a concert of purposes feeding into larger purposes that are bringing about the telos of all of the minutia, all of the little pieces, all of the parts of reality in their own way, at their own level, but it's all working in concept, a million billion little purposes unfolding, a million billion little teloses unfolding, and unfolding into larger purposes, which are part of larger purposes, which are part of ultimate purpose. So, obviously this has theological implications. Obviously this has implications for how life works and the meaning of life. But the reason I wanted to focus on purpose is because it's everywhere. Life does not exist without purpose. Every little thing has purpose. Every little cell, every little part of every cell has purpose. And the key behind making this purpose joined to the telos in the seed of every concept, in the seed of every potential thing in the world, behind the union of purpose and telos is will. This is very easy to see in our own lives, but think of the implications for what it means for anything to exist at any level outside of human activity, outside of human agency. Well, it's divine will, right? It's the will of something unfolding. That's something to think about. That's a theological level that I've brought into this that we can explore later. But very interesting if you start to unpack things and understand them in a symbolic way. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll keep unpacking these concepts in future videos. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, or subscribe to support my work.